These programs have wrestling matches, but guess what? It's only this one that really has anything high rated in terms of WWE matches on cable TV. Well, SmackDown did back in the day, and so did Nitro. But here is the top 10 highest rated WWE matches in cable TV history. Kicking off at number 10, we have got the 10th of May match, 1999, between, well, it's the Big Show and Jericho. We know we got you. Yeah, no, it's just Big Show, but he's taking on Test, and this match did an 8.4. Holy moly. Big Show versus Test, doing an 8.4. That's absolutely insane, but it is key to note here, guys, that this Raw, in actual fact, Drew was the highest rated Raw of all time, and that's not the takeaway for Show or Test. I just feel like if a show's the highest rated of all time, then obviously, like, there is going to be a match that I guess you could say is a bit surprising is going to be on that list, to be honest. But at the same time, still a really good rating. Because at the end of the day, like, the people who are tuning in for something else could easily have tuned out during Big Show Test. But obviously they were doing something right. So yeah, an 8.4 here. Coming in at 9th place, we've got another 8.4. But we travel to the 24th of July 2000 and we have a mega main event on our hands. We have Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit teaming up to take on the team of The Rock and Kane. Yeah, but I mean, this is what you call a wee mega match, like, and I mean, just look at that match. I mean, it's not even like, it's nowhere near the most star-studded match on this card, right, on this list, but fucking hell, come on. Who wouldn't tune into that for a fiver, guys? Come on. Coming in at 8th place, we've got Rock and Lita taking on Trish Stratus and Triple H. This drew an 8.5. It was the 31st of July 2000. And I remember watching around this time, like, I wasn't actually born. I was born about 3 months later, but when we watched this period a couple of years ago, because we watched for like 97 up, that's why we're on 2002, guys, so make sure to check out our Ruthless Aggression reviews. But yeah, like, I remember Aston Kutcher being backstage with Kurt Angle and like Edge and Christian, and we're talking about how SmackDown drew like one of the highest ratings ever on like TV history. Like over million viewers overall. It was like, I think it was like 16 million overall, which is mad, but not an actual rating. But yeah, no surprise here. In the 7th place, so we go back to that edition of Raw in 99, the 10th of May. And yeah, guys, listen to this. We've got the Acolytes taking on the Stooges, taking on the Mean Street Posse. What in the name of God happened here? But it drew an 8.6, which is an absolutely insane rating, but just shows you people were more interested in the Stooges than they were Big Show and Test. But again, I wonder what other matches were happening that night. Spoiler alert, there is one more match from that show on this card, but again, I just wonder what was actually happening at this point, because I believe they were running unopposed to Nitro, which of course is going to make a big massive difference. But I tell you what, right? There actually is. You would be easy to think that back in the day that here, if Nitro wasn't on, people would just watch Raw. But back in the day, like, there was a lot of people that were just Nitro fans and not WWE fans, which I think is quite interesting. I guess the same could be said now, but nobody's an AEW fan. Unless you're a sad bastard that lives in your mother's basement, brother. But anyway, ho. Up next, in 6th place, we have got Triple H and Chris Benoit teaming up to take on The Rock and Chris Jericho. Obviously, around this point, Triple H is kind of pally-pally with the Radicals, and this was the 24th of April 2000, and this also did an 8.6. But again, another pretty good rating. And this is like pretty much like the height of The Rock against Triple H feud. It's after Mania. I think this was in between Mania and, or it might have been after Backlash. I'm not 100% sure. But again, another mighty rating here. But as you can tell, guys, these videos are literally just 99, 2000. So yeah, when Vince Russo tells you that wrestling hasn't been good since we hit the millennium. He's full of shit just because he wasn't fucking in charge of WWE's writing back then. Yeah, because he left in October 99. Oh, but everything takes a year. But going back to the year 1984, it's the brawl to end it all. And this did a 9.0. We've got Wendy Richter taking on the fabulous Mueller. Holy good fuck. How did this match do a 9.0? I've no idea. It's on this list. It comes in at 5th place. But that's absolutely insane to me how this match has done that, if I'm being honest. And yeah, you know what? People can talk about how bad women wrestling, like, oh, the Attitude Era, it sucked. At least the women were hot. You look at Wendy Richter and fucking look at the state of Mueller, man. Honestly, like, look at that picture of her. The flab, the back flab hanging down, the back exposed. She's fucking ancient in 84, let alone like before she died. Honestly. Up next, though, we have got The Rock versus Shane McMahon inside a steel cage. This was the 1st of May 2000, and this drew a 9.10. No surprise this drawing. I mean, you've got Shane McMahon against The Rock with Vince McMahon on the outside. It's a steel cage match. Shane McMahon, of course, is going to do something crazy. Shane McMahon, of course, is probably going to jump off it backwards with his eyes closed, and that's pretty much what Shane McMahon does. But, you know, epic stuff. And yeah, this was the show after we got the tag team match I mentioned just before the Mueller match. So yeah, no surprise here, but a 9.10 rating. 9.10. Impressive. Going back to the 80s once again, we go to the war to settle the score. I mean, come on, guys, could they be a bit more creative with these fucking names? It's just so cringy and like forced. But anyway, this drew also a 9.10, but just a wee bit better than the previous match, like I mentioned. And we have Hulk Hogan taking on Roddy Piper, damn it. And I gotta believe that this must have been after Mania, because like if this is the war to settle the score, surely it had to be after Mania 1, based off my logic. But yeah, that's what I've went for, and that's what we're going to go. But I mean, yeah, 9.1. So we've 2 matches here in the 80s. Quite impressive. Quite impressive. Up next, though, we have got the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the commissioner at this point. And yeah, I've been mentioning the 10th of May 99 already a few times on this list, but I think this match is the reason why it carried the rest of them onto this show and why it was the highest rated Raw of all time. Because at this point, you know, the ministry, the corporate ministry, everything is absolutely in full swing. And at this point, I mean, listen to this for a 6-man tag team match, guys. The Austin, The Rock, Vince McMahon teaming up to take on The Undertaker, Triple H, and Shane McMahon. Now, to be fair, Vince McMahon, not like he was he was quite reluctant to team up with those two. We're going to put it that way. But this episode did a 9.17. An insane rating. An absolutely insane rating. Could it be topped? Of course it would be topped, because there's one more on the list. And who got it? I'll give you a clue. It was 2 guys in that tag team match. And coming in at a whopping 9.5, we have got Austin taking on The Undertaker. A big 9.50, guys. Read it, weep it, do whatever you want with it, but holy moly, that's an absolutely insane rating. And yeah, 28.6. You love to see it. 28.6, no. 28.6, that rating would have broke the Richter scale. No, a 9.5, but this did take place on the 28th of June 1999, guys. And that is us done here on Fog Wrestling. That is the 10 highest rated WWE matches on cable TV history. Be interesting to see what Nitro did, WCW did in its history. Might do that list at some point, but yeah, WWE doing that. Or, I memean, I was going to say AEW, but it's not like AEW's ever broke into the fucking millions with a match. So, anyway, leave your thoughts down below. And, aye, till next time, troops, Fog Wrestling, signing out. I love doing these lists, because it's always entertaining to see what's the top ones. But, you know, again, you have to go into it with your glass half empty, because you know there's not going to be a random match for like 2012 going to be fucked in there. It's always going to be the Attitude Era. But you know what, it's interesting to always see like an 80s, because of course Wrestling was big back in the day too, brother. Kayfabe, keeping it real, damn it. But anyway, guys, till next time, Fog Wrestling, signing out.